The Supreme Court heard oral arguments today on President Trump's order to end birthright citizenship and whether federal district court judges can block the policy with nationwide injunctions. A majority of justices expressed concern about what could happen if the president's executive order was allowed to take effect even temporarily.
Lower courts have blocked the policy nationwide, but the White House wants to do away with those injunctions. KTLA5's John Fenolio joins us live in our news center with more on what's at stake. Hi, John.
Hey, Court Micah. The stakes are high for both the Trump administration and the federal judiciary. The Trump administration is arguing that federal judges are exceeding their authority when they issue these nationwide injunctions to block the president's executive orders.
It is one of President Trump's most controversial executive orders, an end to birthright citizenship, the constitutional right under the 14th Amendment that children born in the U.S. automatically become citizens. The Trump administration attempting to convince the Supreme Court that lower federal court orders lack the authority to halt the president's executive action to deny citizenship to those born on U.S. soil to undocumented immigrants. Team Trump filed emergency appeals to those lower court orders. The High Court now weighing whether a single federal judge can issue nationwide or universal injunctions that impact the entire country. After Trump signed his executive order to end birthright citizenship on day one of his second term, immigrant rights groups, along with 20 states, including California, sued the administration. Federal judges then issued injunctions. U.S. Solicitor General John Sauer arguing for the Trump administration.
They require judges to make rushed, high-stakes, low-information decisions. They circumvent Rule 23 by offering all the benefits but none of the burdens of class certification. They operate asymmetrically, forcing the government to win everywhere.
The court's conservative majority sounding sympathetic to the Trump administration. Referring to judicial overreach, Justice Samuel Alito saying sometimes district judges are wrong. But liberal justices like Sonia Sotomayor pushing back against the administration, raising the specter of executive overreach, asking, what are the courts to do if judges cannot block an executive order they believe is illegal?
As far as I see it, this order violates 4 Supreme Court precedents.
Yeah,
and you are claiming that not just the Supreme Court, that both the Supreme Court and no lower court can stop an executive from universally from violating that holding, those holdings by this court.
This case is about birthright citizenship, but it's about whether the rule of law and the constraints on the executive, and as Justice Jackson said, whether the president can act like a king. The answer I think the court is going to say is no, he cannot.
The Supreme Court is hearing this case on an emergency basis. As such, the court could rule on the matter much sooner than expected. If it does not, a ruling is expected in June or July. Back to you.